What's going on, guys? It is not Friday. It's not Friday. It's Saturday. Another special holiday week here. So we're doing the Movie Idiot Show today, Saturday, 3:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm glad you guys can check in and join me for the Movie Idiot Show. You might be asking yourselves, what is the Movie Idiot Show? Well, get together every week, once a week, usually Fridays at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we talk all things movies, movie news, TV news, streaming news, all that fun stuff. As a fan community, we get together, we talk all the things that you guys want to talk about, and we do it right here live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and live on Twitch. We stream on all three on the Movie Idiot channel on all three. So I want to thank you guys for joining me today. We got a lot of topics to talk about. So this is how this show works. We're going to go over some main topics, including the main topics you guys have submitted. I actually had two viewer submissions for main topics this week, so we're going to get to those first, and then a few main topics I'm going to throw in, and then afterwards I'll be taking your guys' live questions. You can submit live questions, of course. You can comment anytime in the live stream in the comment section below, as always. And also, guys, make sure you smash the like button, share, all that fun stuff. But anyway, yeah, you can comment in the live section, the live comment section below. Also, and the better way, really, to interact with the show here is to use the tip link, streamlabs.com/movieidiot, because when you guys use the tip link, you support the show, you help build this great channel and this great community, and that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to talk movies and TV with all of you. So if you use the tip link, I really appreciate it. And yeah, we're going to get started with everything right now. Oh, you know what? Right. Before I forget, I always forget this part. Make sure, of course, subscribe. Like, share, comment, all that stuff. Again, all that's going to help build the channel, build the show, and that's what we're looking for. So, all right, with all the business stuff out of the way, let's get started with our main topics. And like I said, we had a couple of user topics sent in. So, a couple of user topics. I always say user. It's like it's a video game or something. Viewer topics sent in. The first one comes in from... Give me a second here. Sorry, I'm just pulling it up. Comes in from Jeffrey. Jeffrey writes in, and he was talking about the Wonder Woman 84 video that I put out. He says, I agree, Wonder Woman 84 was pretty bad. $200 million budget plus $100 to $150 million for marketing. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And this had straight up 3,500 theaters like normal pre-COVID would. That's not true, by the way. It did not have 3,500 theaters. In fact, theaters were running at 40% for this movie, which is actually lower than what Tenet had. So Tenet actually had more. But regardless, I see the point he's trying to make here. And it cleared... Oh, sorry. I think he said if. My bad. Okay. He said if this had 3,500 theaters like normal pre-COVID would, it would have cleared $600 million. Absolutely, it would have. Absolutely. Unclear. No way this would have hit $1 billion, though. The story and logic were strange. I kept telling myself several times watching it, this story movie is a mess. I feel bad for them. Painful to watch. For a big budget, magical, like a magical superhero movie, the $300 million spent, 3 out of 5 out of 10. So... I'm going to touch on a lot here that Jeffrey is talking about. And Jeffrey, thank you for sending in that email. Oh, and if you guys want to send in emails for main topics for the show, you can do that, themovieidiot@gmail.com, or you can go to themovieidiot.com and go to the contact section. You can fill out the form and send in for main topics as well that way. So, all right. Yes, Jeffrey. I'm going to get into all this. So, let's start with... Let's start right here. So obviously, yes, Wonder Woman 84 came out on Christmas Day, and obviously it's very divisive. This film is very divisive. You all know how I feel. I didn't like the film. I thought it was hot garbage, actually. And I typically don't go that far in my evaluations for movies. Usually I'm like, it was pretty good. It was pretty bad, but I'll give it a while. I'm a very easy, it takes a lot for me to think a movie is hot garbage, but I thought this movie was trash. I really did. I'm sorry, and I feel bad for saying it, but I'm going to stick to it. I felt it was trash. That being said, there's a lot of people who like this movie, and it's a very divisive film. Very divisive. So, tacking on to Jeremy's point, the whole point with Wonder Woman 84 that Warner Brothers was trying to do here was the first movie in their whole day and date release thing. So where you have movie theater launch plus you have an HBO Max launch. Now, with that, let's delve into some box office numbers. So Wonder Woman 84 opened domestically in the U.S. at $16.7 million. And that's the opening weekend. And internationally, worldwide, then it made 85.4 million. So those are the numbers theatrically, but the theatrical numbers are not the whole story with this movie because, again, Warner Brothers was testing their day-and-date release model, the HBO Max plus the theatrical release model. So when you take that into account, you have to take this next part into account. And this article comes to us from Hollywood Reporter. I'm going to pull that up for you guys. So, according to the Hollywood Reporter, the superhero sequel has been watched more in its first few days than any other 2020 SVOD movie surveyed by Screen Engine, although Disney Plus and Pixar's holiday offering Soul wasn't far behind. Now, that's a skewed number in the sense that a lot of the SVOD movies were pay. So they were behind an even further paywall. So not only you had a subscription paywall, but then you had an extra charge or a VOD charge of some kind. So a little skewed, but still, this is, in the COVID era, the biggest new release movie streamed in the COVID era. Now, also, I showed you guys the theatrical numbers. Those are the biggest theatrical numbers in the COVID era as well, beating out Tenet and beating out every other movie that's come out in the COVID era. So at this point, Warner Brothers can say unequivocally, the numbers don't lie, that streaming and also theatrical, they have the most successful release in the COVID era. That's a fact. Good, bad, and different, we can argue the merits of that. But the one thing you can't argue is that is a fact. They have the most successful release of a movie in the COVID era. Okay. But, so here's the big question. And I think that we have to, ask ourselves this. Does that make this successful? Or is this movie a failure? To kind of jump on Jeffrey's point that he was making, yes, I don't believe personally that this movie would have made $1 billion simply because I don't believe it's a good movie. And to clarify that, I'm going to bring this up for you guys so you guys can see here. Wonder Woman 84 for Rotten Tomatoes right now, 61% critic rating, 74% verified audience rating. So that's not terrible, but it's not certified fresh. It's not rotten, but it's not certified fresh. The original Wonder Woman, let me pull that up really quick for you guys because I feel like I'd be doing a disjustice not. Hold on. Because I think the original Wonder Woman's in like the 90% range. Hold please. 1 moment. Original Wonder Woman here, I'll pull it up for you, is at 93% critic rating and 84% audience rating. So, look, there's no way around this. Critically and audience-wise, this movie is not... It's not as much of a success as the original. It just isn't. I mean, there's no way around that. There's no way to candy coat that. It is what it is. This movie is not as successful as the first Wonder Woman movie. Now, does that make this movie a failure? That's the next question that I have. Does that make this movie a failure? I honestly, guys, I'm going to tell you, I think the answer to that is no. No, it does not make this movie a failure. I don't believe it does. I think that Warner Brothers got out of this movie what they could have expected to get. If they would have released it completely theatrically, yeah, it might have done a little bit more. But honestly, they dragged in, I think the number was 500,000 new subscribers. So that was the number. They got 500,000 new subscribers. Also, in their existing subscriber base, which was somewhere at like, I think it was like 29 million, half of those people watched Wonder Woman 84. So those are quantifiable numbers. So at this point, even though I don't like the film, I'm not a fan, but I will say, even though I don't like the film, I'm going to stop short of calling it a failure. This movie did not fail. It got released in a terrible era, but if you put it up against every other movie that's been released in this terrible COVID era, honestly, it performed better than all of them. So you can't equivocally sit here and say it's a failure simply because when you put it up against everything else that's come up, including a movie like Tenet, which was a huge tentpole blockbuster that was supposed to save the theater industry, and Wonder Woman beat that. And Wonder Woman beat it with less theaters open, and it beat it with a streaming release at the same time, a day-and-date streaming release. So as much as some people might want to call this a failure, and look, I'm the first one to say I don't like this movie. I think it's hot garbage, but I'm going to stop short of calling it a failure simply because it's outperformed its peers. It's outperformed the other movies that have released in this time. So now, look, is it pre-COVID numbers? I mean, no contest, this movie is not performed, but there's no way to, that's just not even fair. That's just not even fair. And again, as a person who thinks this movie is hot garbage, I still am going to sit here and say, look, that's just not a fair measurement stick. So I hope that kind of answered some of your questions, Jeffrey. Thank you again for submitting that topic. Awesome topic, man. Thank you very much. And I'm going to get to our second main topic, which was also a viewer-submitted topic. So let me get to that one. And this main topic is about Pablo Hidalgo. So if you guys don't know who that is, Pablo Hidalgo is a Lucasfilm executive. So the question, this is from Lewis. Lewis asks, what do you think of Pablo Hidalgo trolling the YouTuber Star Wars Theory on Twitter for crying at the return of Luke Skywalker? Okay, so I have thoughts. First of all, before I get into all this, I want to say I fell into a YouTube rabbit hole for about 3 hours watching reaction videos of people bawling their eyes out at the return of Luke Skywalker. And look, guys, I know that's a spoiler, but at this point, it's been weeks now. If you haven't seen the end of Mandalorian, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's public knowledge. Everybody's put it out there. We're past that's a spoiler routine, okay? So I'm sorry. It's a thing. It's been all over Twitter, as you can tell from this movie story right here. So, all right. So I fell down that rabbit hole. And if you guys haven't checked it out, oh my God, the reaction videos are amazing. Grown men and women just weeping like babies. And look, man, if I would have had a camera on me, I'd have been one of them because, oh my God. So it was awesome. And I definitely recommend falling down that rabbit hole. That being said, let's delve into this story. So this guy right here is Star Wars Theory. He's a YouTuber, and he obviously has a channel, and he did a reaction video, and as you can see right here, he was bawling his eyes out. He's also a cancer survivor. So here's what, let me go down and show you what Pablo Hidalgo said. Not the clarification, I want the actual tweets. Here we go. So Pablo posted that picture. It was that picture right there. And then he said, quote, "Emotions are not for sharing." That was what he said. That's it. That's what he tweeted. Well, of course, now mind you, this wasn't a public tweet. This was a private tweet. So it was not on his public thing. Somebody screenshot the tweet, released it publicly. Blew up, obviously, because, that's what happens nowadays, right? Things blow up and become, oh my God! So it blew up. So here we go. Let me read what the guy said. Here we go. So Twos is the guy's name, the Star Wars Theory guy, and he says, "I'd hate to believe he would join in the teasing as a Lucasfilm official." And then, hold on, there's more. I want to find the part where he talks about. He talks about. I can't find it here, but he talks about how he's a cancer survivor and Luke Skywalker helped him, gave him the strength, is one of the people who he drew inspiration from and gave him the strength to overcome cancer and all that stuff. It was great. A great response, a rebuttal. And he thought he was being attacked. Now, Hidalgo then puts out a new tweet, which is right here. You can see it. It says, I wish to clarify my post that emotions are not to be shared was sarcastic self-mockery and was certainly not intended to be hurtful to anyone, and I'm deeply sorry that it was. As a lifelong fan, I appreciate fans expressing how they feel. It's what being a fan is about. All right. So that's it. That's the whole story. Pablo Hidalgo puts out this tweet saying, emotions are not for sharing, and he has that picture of that guy, and it wasn't even a public tweet, it was private, and then that got shared and blown up, and then obviously Twos responded, and then Pablo Hidalgo responded back. That's pretty much the whole story. Now, Pablo Hidalgo is getting roasted, of course, because that's what happens when people make tweets that are controversial. So, do I feel that Pablo Hidalgo is wrong? And what are my thoughts? I gotta say, assuming what Pablo Hidalgo is saying is correct, and that he was talking about himself, he said it was a self-reflective tweet, and it was private, he'd never meant for that to be public. Now, granted, if he's making fun of the guy, even if it's private, it's still pretty shitty. But assuming that he's telling the truth, then no, I think this is an example of cancel culture, right? Like, this is an example of people running with something that is not a big deal. And it, again, out of context quotes, right? You could take somebody's quote out of context and you can make anybody look like a real asshole. And that's just how that goes. So do I believe Pablo Hidalgo was doing that? No, I don't. I believe Pablo Hidalgo was honestly just self-reflecting, and I think it got taken out of context. Now, if Pablo Hidalgo was making fun of this guy as a Lucasfilm executive, well, then he's a piece of shit. If that's the case, then yes, he is an asshole and deserves everything. But I think we don't know that. And if you don't know that, then, and you're attacking this guy and you don't know, you're just assuming, that makes you the asshole. Because you don't know. And I think a lot of people just go out of their way to attack people because that's the cool thing to do now. Oh, screw this guy. Oh, get rid of him. Man, come on, dude. Don't you have anything better to do? I just talked about Wonder Woman 84. And I ripped into this movie in my reviews and everything. And ripped into Patty Jenkins on how terrible she did. But that doesn't mean I think Patty Jenkins is a bad person or should be fired or is a piece of shit or anything else. I just didn't like her movie. If you want to say in your tweets or things about Pablo Hidalgo, hey, if you really meant this as a rip, then you suck. Okay, but quantify that. Don't just say, Pablo Hidalgo, you suck, you're ripping on this guy. You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know what emotions are not for sharing. What does that even mean? And that's the problem, is that people take shit and they run with it. And so I don't like that. So, and I obviously, you can tell, have a little bit of a problem with it. So, that being said, if Pablo Hidalgo was being a piece of shit and he was making fun of the guy, then yes, he deserves every bit of all the vitriol he's getting. But I don't think that's the case. And I think a lot of people out there are making a big deal about something that probably shouldn't be. So, that's my opinion. Lewis, thank you for sending in that topic, though, man. I really appreciate it. And again, you guys, if you want to send in topics for the show, you can do that, themovieidiot@gmail.com, or go to themovieidiot.com and go to the contact tab and fill out the form and send them in. I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to hear your submissions for topics, the viewer submissions. That's what we want here. I want to talk about the things that you guys want to talk about. So again, I want to thank Jeffrey and Lewis. Those were the two viewer submitted topics for this week. I have a few topics, though, that I wanted to talk about as well. And so we're going to get into those main topics right now. Two separate Batman movie franchises will run simultaneously at Warner Brothers and DC. So this comes to us from, this particular one is movieweb.com, but I'm pretty sure it's on all the major trades. And there was an interview with Walter Hamada So Walter Hamada is the president of DC, and he was doing an interview, I'm sure probably some press for Wonder Woman 84, and he spoke out about the plans, confirming that a new actor, let me say that again, a new actor will be brought in to replace Ben Affleck in the DCEU, while Pattinson will stay on to play the superhero in unconnected movies of his own. So, and what they're talking about is the Batman, which stars Robert Pattinson, is going to be in a Earth 2 universe. Well, the DCEU Earth 1 is going to bring in a new actor. But Affleck's still going to be in Flashpoint, and that's still all happening. But Affleck is not going to be attached after that point. So they are really doubling down on this whole multiverse thing that they're doing over in DC. They're really going all in. So to bring in a new actor on top, so Affleck's gone, new actors coming in. They're going to have 2 Batman franchises running congruently. What do I think about this? What I've always thought about it. What I think about Marvel and what they're doing with the multiverse thing. If it's written well, if you get good directors, if you take the time and come up with a cohesive story and a good story, I don't care if you have 14 Batmans, as long as it's done well. That's what I think. Is it risky? Super risky. You also, again, especially nowadays, run the risk of dividing your own fan base. Now you're going to have your new Batman, let's just say it's Chris Pine. It's not Chris Pine, but let's just say it's Chris Pine. So then you'll have your Pine Bat fans, and then you'll have your Battinson fans, and your Pine Bat fans and your Battinson fans will be clashing. You're dividing your own fan base. You run the risk of that anyway. So that's a thing. But in my opinion, again, for me, it's all roses. Dude, let me get this straight. I can see 2 Batman movies. I can get like 1 Batman movie a year now, and it's just flip-flopping on which one. Sign me up, as long as it's good. As long as it's good. Make it good. Make the stories good. Make them interesting. Don't do what you did with Wonder Woman and have a convoluted mess of holy fuck. Okay? Like, make the stories good, and then it doesn't matter. So, that's how I feel about that. But guys, it is not about how I feel. It's about how you feel. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below your guys' thoughts on 2 Batman. They're confirmed 2 Batmans. If Walter Hamada says it, it is done, because he's the man in DC. So what do you guys think? 2 Batmans going to be running congruently. Let me know in the comments below your guys' thoughts, and we're going to move on to the next main topic of the day. And our next main topic is this guy right here. AMC. AMC has been in trouble. As you guys know, if you've been watching my show, AMC has been in real trouble. AMC theaters are selling up to $124.75 million in stocks to stay afloat. So the exhibition giant previously warned that it could run out of cash early 2021. So the Cinema John is registered to sell shares up to $124.75 million and make it through the coronavirus pandemic. A Wednesday regulatory filing said it could sell the shares as a classic common stock from time to time in addition to 200 million shares previously registered. So yeah, AMC is going to start selling off shares to try and keep themselves in business. More shares. And they have been doing this, as the article stated. So what does this mean? This means AMC is doubling down again. And look, they're going all in. They are at this point in business terms, they are cashing in all their chips. They're going all in. It's all or nothing. They're either going to make it through this or they're going to and be done. What do I think? Yeah. Why not at this point? You're already this far. You might as well swing for the fence and hope it works out. I think there's some good news here. A few things. One, the Wonder Woman 84 experiment, the theater day and date thing with the HBO Max, proved something. It proved that people who are willing to go out to movies will still go out to movies. Again, Wonder Woman 84 is the highest grossing movie in the COVID era. since lockdowns began, Wonder Woman 84 is the highest grossing movie in COVID era. So that has to make AMC feel kind of good because they were afraid about HBO Max simultaneous release with the movie. And in fact, it did pretty well for COVID standards. So not only that, but then you're finding out that movies like Dune are actually, because Legendary is suing Warner Brothers, so Dune's actually going to get released. Disney has doubled down and said, no, we're doing theatrical releases for our Marvel films. So Disney has doubled down in all their tentpole films. They're still releasing theatrically. At this point, AMC can now look and go, okay, when the doors open, we're going to have the movies, and all we got to do is be here, and we're going to get people back. It looks like, and again, it's early, and that Wonder Woman 84 return is early, but Wonder Woman 84 brought in the most people in the COVID era to theaters, and that's got to be at least a sign of hope for AMC. So I think AMC, honestly, I think they're doing the right thing and what they should do. Go all in. Go for it. Go for broke, man. Go for broke. You're going to go broke anyway. You might as well go completely for broke. Mark Rogers chimes in and says, what about Harry and the Hendersons? Buddy, I think you're about 25 years too late, but I do love that movie. It's a great movie if you haven't seen it. So AMC is going for broke. Let me know what you guys think about that. Do you think it's a good idea for AMC to start selling off some stocks, trying to stay alive? Do you think maybe they should be more conservative? Let me know in the comments below your guys' thoughts, and we're going to move on to the next kind of main topic here. So, next main topic is the main topic of the show today. We're going to go over the 2021 calendar release, basically. So, we're going to go over movies and we're going to go over TV shows. Let's start here. I was going to do movies first, but I think I'm going to switch it up. I think I'm going to go with shows. So, as we all know, Cobra Kai launched. And we're going to talk about that because that was awesome. So, Cobra Kai launched. But also, here we're going to start with shows. So here's our list, and I'm just going to kind of go over these really quickly. It's going to be the next couple of months of shows dropping in the winter thing. So we got Cobra Kai, and then I'm just going to kind of pick out ones that look like they're going to be big, huge things. So The Rookie's returning. I know a lot of people like The Rookie. That's going to be on January 3rd. Obviously, The Bachelor is coming back on January 4th. Let's see what else we got here. Oh my God, Dr. Pimple Popper. That's hilarious. Okay, we'll skip to January 5th. Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. Don't laugh. A lot of people watch that show. So that's January 5th. Fox has January 6th. Man, Fox has really gone all in on these like singer shows and Masked Singers and Name That Tune and Dancer. So yeah, they got a couple of those coming out. January 7th. Not a whole lot of crazy good stuff there, I guess. January 8th. Yeah, sure. I don't know too many of those either. January 9th. Oh my God, they're bringing in Whose Line Is It Anyway is coming back. I didn't even know that was a thing, so that's cool. January 10th. Yeah, not anything crazy. January 11th has The Good Doctor, so that's one that's kind of been in the public eye a little bit. January 12th doesn't have anything crazy. January 13th, The Goldbergs. January 14th, Young Sheldon comes back if you're into that. January 15th, Real Time. Oh, here we go. January 15th, WandaVision. WandaVision's going to be huge. I cannot fucking wait for the show, guys. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen the trailers, check it out. WandaVision looks amazing. So make sure you check that out. And that's January 15th. That's going to drop. January 17th is Batwoman. January 18th, you got the 911 shows coming back. January 19th, nothing really crazy there. January 20th, Riverdale and Nancy Drew. January 21st, I don't see anything crazy in that. The 22nd. Here we go. Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous. I didn't even know there was a Jurassic World show coming out. That's cool. January 24th has Charmed. January 25th has the Snowpiercer show that's coming on TNT. January 26th, Blackish is returning. January 27th, nothing crazy there. 29th, let me see. Sorry, I'm just trying to I just want to pick out the ones that are going to be more big. That looks like about it. I don't see anything super crazy. American Idol comes back February 14th, guys. Like anybody cares about that show anymore. The Flash returns on the 23rd, along with this new Superman show. The Walking Dead returns for season 10B, the February 28th. And that looks like Grey's Anatomy coming back on March 14th. Yeah, so that's about it for TV shows. So a lot of stuff coming back in the next couple of months. So let me ask you guys, like, what are you guys interested in? Are you excited for any of those shows coming? I, of course, like I said, am very excited for WandaVision. That's kind of my next big show that I can't wait to see. So that's the one I'm going to be watching. But what are you guys going to be watching? Let me know in the comments below your guys' thoughts on the upcoming TV shows. And we're going to move on to upcoming movies. And here's the movie release schedule for 2021. Some of the big movies. We're just going to kind of run through some of the bigger stuff. So let's see. In March is the first kind of big movie, and that's Raya and the Last Dragon is doing Disney Plus and theatrical day and date. So let's see. Morbius, March 19th. So that's a big movie from Sony in the Sonyverse. They call it Spunk. Yes, you heard that right. Spunk. They really should have rethought that name on their shared universe thing. But Morbius is coming March 19th. Let's see. April 2nd, No Time to Die and Peter Rabbit 2. So yeah, the James Bond movie, No Time to Die, scheduled for April 2nd release. April 9th is Bob's Burgers. I can't believe they're doing a Bob's Burgers. Dude, I could never get into Bob's Burgers. I had a friend of mine who like made me watch like 8 episodes of it, and it just was not for me. I couldn't do it. But to each their own, right? April 16th, Mortal Kombat. So the Mortal Kombat movie, the reboot. So that's an interesting thing. April 23rd, A Quiet Place 2. Man, I've been waiting. And a lot of these are movies that were supposed to come out last year. So let's see. Friday, April 30th, The Eyes of Tammy Faye. May 7th. Here we go. Black Widow. That's the big one right there. Black Widow coming on May 7th. Godzilla vs. Kong on HBO Max on May 21st. It's a day and date release. I don't know if that's going to hold up. I would not be surprised if it still stays theatrical. Legendary and Warner, they're still hashing that out. So, but there's a chance it'll be an HBO Max release. There's a chance it could be day and date, and there's a chance it'll be just theatrical. But Godzilla vs. Kong will be coming out May 21st. Free Guy. Oh my God. I can't wait to see this movie, Free Guy, with Ryan Reynolds. And that also comes on May 21st. Spiral, which is a spinoff of the Saw movies with Chris Rock attached to it. So very interested in that, just because I'm curious. Friday, May 8th, Fast 9, Cruella and Infinite. Cruella, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is a Disney Plus release. June. Oh, man, that's a lot. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, HBO Max only release, or day and date. I don't remember which. Ghostbusters Afterlife, June 11th. June 18th, The Heights. I don't know. June 25th, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. God, I can't wait for that movie as well. July 2nd, Minions Rise of Grogu, and the movie to end all movies, Top Gun Maverick. The return of Maverick in jet fighter planes. I already can hear the Kenny Loggins rolling right now, man. Highway to the danger zone. Danger zone. Yeah, anybody who watches a certain TV show knows what that's all about. But yeah, so Top Gun Maverick, July 2nd. July 9th, Shang-Chi. Space Jam: A New Legacy and Uncharted. That's a big release schedule there. Let's see. Friday the 23rd. Nothing too crazy. Friday, July 30th, Jungle Cruise. Give me a second, guys. Take a swig of water here. It's a lot. All right, so we're finishing out the second half of the year here. Here we go. Friday, August 6th, we got the Suicide Squad movie. Friday, August 13th, Deep Water. Friday, August 20th, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. I'm very interested in that, actually. And then Paw Patrol the movie, if that's your thing. Friday, August 27th, Candyman. That movie, I can't wait for. I love horror, and I think that's going to be awesome. And then The Beatles Get Back, which I don't even know what that is. Is that another mock music? What do they call those? Not a documentary. Anyway, kind of like Bohemian Rhapsody and that kind of stuff. I'm guessing that's what it is. I'll have to look into that one a little bit more. September. Not a whole lot early September. And that's a funny thing. So there's a couple. So look here. So August 27th is the last weekend in August. And then the first 2 weeks in September have like no big movie releases. I feel like there's an opportunity for some movies to shift around, and don't be surprised if a couple of movies jump into that early 2-week September slot. So keep your eyes open on that. All right, so September 17th, Death on the Nile, which I definitely want to see that. I don't know what The Man from Toronto is, but The Boss Baby, the sequel, whatever. Let's see, October. Here's the big one, Dune. Dune comes out October 1st, so that's a big one. And then Addams Family 2, the sequel to the animated movie that came out 2 years ago, is October 8th. October 15th, Halloween Kills and The Last Duel. October 22nd, Snake Eyes, the G.I. Joe origin one. Let's see, November 5th, Eternals. That's a big, big movie. Clifford the Big Red Dog, not so much. Here we go, biopics. Thank you, that's what I was looking for. An untitled Elvis Presley biopic coming out on November 5th. If it's already still untitled at this point, I wouldn't expect that. King Richard, another day and date release, possibly, for HBO Max and Warner Brothers. Mission Impossible 7th, also on the 19th of November. Encanto, which is the Disney movie that they revealed at their big shareholder event. So then we get to December. We're going to close out the year. December 10th with West Side Story. December 17th. Again, the first couple of weeks in December, nothing. So West Side Story on December 10th. Untitled MCU Spider-Man sequel. So Spider-Man 3, Friday, December 17th. December 22nd is The Matrix 4. Again, is supposed to be day and date release with HBO Max. Sing 2. Okay. Hotel Transylvania 4. And then finally, Babylon. And that is the movie schedule for 2021. Whew. That was a lot. Man. So, what do I think about all that? Well, there's quite a few in there that I am definitely looking forward to. Dune. Top Gun 2, the Fast 9, or was it Fast 9, Fast 10? I think it's Fast 9. The Fast 9 movie. The No Time to Die, the James Bond movie. Obviously, all the Marvel movies listed, and of course the Sony, the Venom, and the Morbius movie. There's a lot, guys. A lot of good stuff coming out. Now, the question will be, will theaters be open? Will they not? We still don't know. But a lot of good content coming up. So I'm excited for the year. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited for the upcoming movie slate? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. And I am going to move on to the next main topic. And my next and final main topic of the day, of course. Guys, it happened. Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai Season 3 dropped. It dropped on January 1st, on New Year's Day. And I binged the whole damn thing yesterday. All of it. All 8 episodes. Or was it 10 episodes? 10 episodes. Whatever. I binged all of it. Cobra Kai Season 3. So, Cobra Kai Season 2 left us on a cliffhanger. And this one picks up pretty much right where that one left off. I gotta tell you guys, here's what I thought. I liked it. I liked Cobra Kai Season 3, but I didn't like it as much as Season 2. I liked it better than Season 1, though. So it's kind of in the middle of those two for me. It's really good, but it really didn't get its footing until the last few episodes. I felt like this one kind of dragged out a little for me early, and then once you get to that second half, that's when this season really picks it up and gets it into gear. Early on, though, I felt like it was kind of not so great. It was okay. But again, what they've done with the show, such great character development, a lot of Easter egg things in this season, and I'm not spoiling anything, but definitely a lot of Easter egg things. But again, most of that comes more in the second half of the season. The first half of the season is kind of just meh for me. The second half of the season was really good. So all in all, I feel Cobra Kai Season 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up. I will give it the thumbs up. It's very good. Not as good as Season 2, in my opinion, but still very good, and sets up for a really interesting Season 4 at the end. Not as big of a cliffhanger as last season, but still a really good setup. There are definitely some twists and turns, some surprises, and then some things that you kind of see coming. They do telegraph a lot in the show, which is fine. You can pick up on it quick what's going to happen, but it's still really good. So all in all, again, guys, Cobra Kai Season 3, I give it a thumbs up. But it is not about me. It's about what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think on Cobra Kai Season 3. And that's going to do it for all of our main topics today. So again, I want to thank... it was Jeffrey and Lewis for submitting for main topics for the show this week. And again, if you guys want to submit for main topics for next week, just make sure you go to, you can go to themovieidiot.com, go to the contact tab, fill out the form, send it in, and you can put in for main topics as well. Or you can just email me straight at themovieidiot@gmail.com. With all of that out of the way, guys, we got all the topics out of the way. With all that out of the way, we're going to get to our viewer comments here. So as I said before, tip comments, you can send in streamlab.com/movieidiot. And when you send in a tip comments, of course, you support the show. And we really appreciate that here at the Movie Idiot channel. We want to build a nice, strong community, and your guys' tips help do that. So again, appreciate all of that when you do. So I have 2 tip comments for today. The first one is no surprise because this dude is like clockwork every week. My guy, Del Mackey. And he says, "Hey, Mike, Cobra Kai, so awesome. What did you think?" And I just talked about it, literally. So, Del, again, I'll kind of wrap it up here. I thought Cobra Kai Season 3 was better, or sorry, not as good as Season 2, but better than Season 1. So I put it right in the middle. I thought it was very good, though. Still giving it a thumbs up. I enjoyed it a lot. I felt the second half of the season was much better than the first, but it was still very good. So I enjoyed it tremendously, but not as much as Season 2. Season 2, I felt like the whole season, man, I was just locked in. And this one, Season 3, I was not locked in until the second half. And then it picked up, and then it really locked me in. And once it got you, it got you. But it took a little bit to get its traction. So... But that being said, I did like it. So thank you, Del. Thank you for sending in a tip link and a tip comment. And appreciate that. And I'm going to get on to the second tip comment for the day. And that is from Bob Jones. Bob Jones says, "I just heard that Lethal Weapon 5 is a go. What do you think about that?" Great tip comment. So yes, I have also heard the same, that Lethal Weapon 5 was a go. Now, that is not entirely accurate. And if you guys look this up, Richard Donner, who is the director of all the Lethal Weapon movies, who is 90 years old, mind you, was talking about how he wants to make a Lethal Weapon 5. It would be the final installment of Lethal Weapon. He's in. He wants to do it. Apparently, Mel Gibson is in, wants to do it. Danny Glover is in. They want to do it. Now, they're all getting really old, so I can't even imagine what kind of story they're going to come up with for this. But that doesn't mean it's a go. Just because, director wants to work in Hollywood, even though he's 90. Actors want paying gig in Hollywood. That's not a big story. But I can see this being a thing. I can see it happening. But it is not a go yet. That has not been greenlit. So don't think it's a go. It's not. There's nothing greenlit. They're not in pre-production. They're not. It's just the director, Richard Donner, who came out and said he would like to do one more. But that's how things get started. That's how the wheels get set in motion. So it's possible, but I wouldn't hold my breath on it yet. So that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, I'd be down. I mean, again, if it's a good story, if it's done well, sure. I mean, there's something there. They could do like a Logan-esque type thing with Riggs and Murtaugh. Yeah, maybe they're not, maybe they don't see each other. They're retired and they're isolated from each other, and they end up having to get together for one more big thing. I'm in. I'd be totally in. But, we'll have to see how they do it. It's all about the story. And also with Richard Donner, because, I mean, at 90 years old, you'd like to think that he's going to be good to go, but, there's a risk there. So, who's going to be with Richard Donner to help him along with this movie? That's my other thing. Although, then again, Clint Eastwood is still pumping out Oscar contenders at the ripe age of 90 plus. So you never know. So that's kind of how I feel. So what do you guys think? Comment below your guys' thoughts. Would you be interested in a Lethal Weapon 5? Hit me up. Want to hear it. That being said, and I already read Mark's comments about Harry and the Hendersons. Again, if you haven't seen Harry and the Hendersons, check that out as well. That's a good movie. All right. So let's see here. I'm going to check Facebook and see. Oh, I just got a message from Becca. So Becca actually won. We were giving away the Grogu for the open spoiler discussion for the Mando season 2 finale, and she was asking about that. So Becca, I have your information. I just received the Grogu. It came in the mail. So yes, I will link up with you and going to get that to you. But we do have the Grogu in-house right now. I just got it. So I'm going to make sure I get that to you. So thank you for reminding me. But yep, I was going to reach out to you anyway. So yep, we're going to take care of that. So all right, let me check Facebook and see if there's any comments on there. Just a moment. I just always like to double check and make sure that we cover all the bases. Hold, please. Doesn't look like it. Nothing on Twitter, as far as I can tell. Nope, nothing there. So, yep. All right, that's gonna do it, guys. Well, that's today's show, man. So, again, guys, thank you all for watching. Really appreciate it. And again, you can send in comments 24/7 to the tip link, streamlabs.com/movieidiot. So you can send in 24/7 on that. If you want to submit for main topics, again, themovieidiot@gmail.com, or go to the website, themovieidiot.com, and go to contact and fill out the form, send it in, and you can get your possible main topic as a main topic for the show. So I want to thank Mark, who chimed in on the live chat, and then I want to thank Del Mackey, of course, my guy, Del Mackey, and then Bob Jones, who sent in tips this week. Again, I will be back at the regular time next week, Friday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here, of course, live on YouTube, live on Facebook, live on Twitch. And again, thank you guys for watching the Movie Idiot Show, and I will catch you all next week. Hope you all have a great week, and I'm out of here.